Hey guys, today I will show you how to count more complex rhythms such as syncopas and dotted notes. Let's get started. A dot is placed after the note to indicate a change in the duration of a note. A dot adds half of the value of the note that it is attached to. Let's look at the examples. A half note is 2 beats long. When we add a dot to a note, we add half of the value of the half note, which is 1 beat. Therefore, a dotted half note will have 3 beats. When counting, we will write in 1-2-3 or 2-3-4 if the dotted half note is placed on the second beat. Let's look at the example of a dotted half notes in music. The time signature indicates that there will be 4 beats in the measure. We will write in the counting this way. When clapping, we need to make sure that we hold throughout the beats that are tied with a hyphen. The rhythm sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. A quarter note is 1 beat long. When we add a dot to the note, we add half of the value of the quarter note, which is 1/2 of the beat. Therefore, a dotted quarter note will have 1 beat and a half. When counting, we will write in 1 and 2, 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, depending on where in the measure the dotted quarter note is placed. Let me explain why we count the dotted quarter note the way that we do. A dotted quarter note equals 1.5 beats, which equals 3 eighth notes. We are used to having 2 or 4 eighth notes grouped together, but those are not the only 2 ways. We can group the first 3 eighth notes together. We are then left with 1 single eighth note. We can notate this in a different way, with a dotted quarter note and a single eighth note. Therefore, when counting a dotted quarter note, we do it this way. To show that the first 3 notes are grouped together, we use a line underneath. Here is an example of a rhythm with dotted quarter notes. The time signature indicates that there are 3 beats in a measure. Therefore, we are using numbers 1, 2, and 3 to count. Counting will look like this. Let's try to clap this together. Don't forget to hold throughout the connected counts. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Great work! Let's move on. Do you remember how we grouped 3 eighth notes for the dotted quarter note? Well, there is another way to group eighth notes. We can group the 2 eighth notes in the middle. We can rewrite that in another way, with a single eighth note, a quarter note, and another single eighth note. Therefore, when counting this rhythmic pattern, we do it this way. To show that the middle 2 notes are grouped together, we use a line underneath. This rhythmic pattern is called a syncopation. Syncopation is a rhythmic device that we use to accent a note that is usually not accented. Here's an example. When we count and clap eighth notes, we accent the downbeat, which is marked green. With a syncopation, we accent the upbeat, which is marked and circled in blue. I will play both rhythms for you so you can hear the difference. Here's what they sound like. Here's the first example. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Here is the second example of the syncopation. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. I will now play both rhythms. first the non-syncopated one, then the syncopated one. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Let's now look at a rhythmic example with the syncopation. We will use two numbers to count a rhythm as a time signature indicates. Here is how we count it. 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. We also need to make sure that we connect the quarter notes that are syncopated. I will clap this pattern first, then we will do it together. 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Let's now do it together. Ready? 1 and 2 and 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Good work! You learned something very difficult today. Now go find some dotted quarter notes or syncopations in your music and try to count and clap them.